Welcome to War India News Hour. Multi-factor authentication could minimize the risks. Technology has come a long way in improving the way people do almost everything, maybe for a shorter time, since another technology is getting ready to disrupt the existing one. The risk of being hacked or targeted online is higher than ever as cybercriminals are constantly trying to get their hands onto your data. Security breaches are increasing every year. Hackers are getting smarter as they become more familiar with the loopholes in the basic account security structure. To protect both you and your consumers, it's essential to implement changes in the way you store and access your data. Multi-factor authentication, that is MFA, refers to the use of several login credentials for a user to access his or her account. This is different from two-factor authentication, that is 2FA, in the sense that it uses more than two login credentials. A range of authentication techniques have a range of strengths, the strongest having more than one factors and resistance to social engineering. Instead of just asking for a username and password, MFA requires you to enter a code from a secure generator, answer a security question, or even biometric information such as your fingerprint or facial pattern. Successfully defending enterprise systems and data is often said to be a balance between security and convenience. The most recent Verizon data breach investigations report found authentication hacks rife among attack techniques. In 45% of incidents, attackers employed some form of authentication hack. That includes targeting passwords through brute force attacks, the most cited type of attack. In fact, credentials were exploited in 37% of attacks. Credential-based attacks far outshaded malware, which was used in 17% of attacks. The multi-factor authentication market is booming. One of the most effective ways to defend the authentication process is to increase the number of factors required for a successful login. Think of such factor as an additional validation check. So let's look into today's headlines in War India. Prime Minister inaugurates RAISE 2020. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi inaugurated RAISE 2020, a mega virtual summit on artificial intelligence today. RAISE 2020 is a global meeting of minds to exchange ideas and chart a course of using AI for social transformation, inclusion and empowerment in areas like healthcare, agriculture, education and smart mobility, among other sectors. The Prime Minister praised the organizers for encouraging discussions on artificial intelligence. He said, technology has transformed our workplaces and has improved connectivity. He hoped the merger between social responsibility and AI would enrich AI with human touch. He said, the teamwork of AI with humans can do wonders for our planet. NVIDIA introduces new Ampere GPU for visual computing. The RTX A6000 and A40 are NVIDIA's latest GPU designs based on Ampere architecture. The RTX A6000 is designed for the new era of visual computing as per NVIDIA. It has unveiled its latest batch of technology focused on the areas of graphics, AI, enterprise and edge computing, robotics and remote collaboration. The company is holding its virtual GTC 2020 event this week and introduced a cloud streaming video AI platform called Maxine. SAP to acquire marketing firm Emersys. SAP plans to acquire Emersys, a maker of the cloud-based marketing platform and customer engagement technology, in a bid to deliver a portfolio for a commerce anywhere strategy, allowing hyper-personalized digital commerce experiences across all channels at any time. The aim is to better integrate front office data with back office capabilities and individual customer feedback. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. Emersys platform is designed to help companies deliver personalized customer interactions across channels, including email, mobile, social, SMS, and the web. DocuSign's e-signature now integrates with Slack. As remote work becomes prevalent, we are seeing more customers moving away from email in favor of more collaborative tools and channels. DocuSign and Slack announced a new collaboration that will integrate DocuSign's e-signature tool into Slack's workplace collaboration platform. The integration will allow users to send and sign documents with e-signature directly within the Slack application. The company states our new e-signature integration makes it easier for teams to get work done by streamlining the process of sending and signing important documents natively in Slack. Avaya to integrate NVIDIA's Maxine cloud streaming video AI. Avaya is going to sign a partnership agreement with NVIDIA to enable more visual and virtual experiences to its collaboration platform. NVIDIA's Maxine cloud platform has audio, video and conversational AI software to improve video conferencing. It will integrate NVIDIA's Maxine cloud streaming video AI platform into its Avaya Space collaboration app. Free fall of the revenue of PUBG to 26% after the ban in India. PUBG's global downloads have sharply shrunk by 26% in September as per the data sourced from Sensor Tower reveals. Post-ban by the Indian government, it shows India was one of the top contributors to its overall download numbers. India has been contributing around 30 to 35% to PUBG's overall downloads in the past 4 to 5 months and has contributed 24% or 175 million out of PUBG's lifetime 734 million downloads till June. Google defers 30% charge enforcement on in-app purchases to April 2022. With the growing concern of India's startup ecosystem over the policy of Google to enforce a 30% charge on all in-app purchases through Play Store in India beginning September 30th, 2021, Google has announced that it has extended the deadline to integrate the billing system to March 31st, 2022. However, the startup ecosystem has decided to move ahead as per the recent crisis. There could be another startup to come up to bridge the gap, sources said. Google said that it was extending the time for developers in India to integrate with the Play billing system. India can become the powerhouse of artificial intelligence of the world. Speaking at a press conference to unveil the upcoming Global Virtual Summit on AI, RAISE 2020, Amitabh Kant noted that AI can help transform lives. With its data and innovation capabilities, India can become the artificial intelligence laboratory of the world, Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant said. He further said, on the strength of its data and innovation prowess, India can become the AI laboratory of the world, delivering intuitive solutions to a wide range of societal issues. CommScope announces leadership transition. CommScope announced the stepping down of Eddie Edwards as President and Chief Executive Officer on 1st October 2020. After a successful 15 years career at the company, Eddie will be succeeded by Chuck Treadway, a seasoned innovator and engineer who officially joined the company. User testing is trusted by the world's top brands. Newer technology brings newer innovations, like measuring the user experience, performance and interest in the visited websites can be measured with artificial intelligence. Later on, you can also ask any question, target anyone, engage and empathize, discover and analyze, share insights. This newer technology has influenced more than half of the world's top brands to rely on user testing to deliver real human insight to make more informed decisions that drive better business outcomes. COVID update. The center is working on plans for building capacities in human resources, training, supervision, etc. on a massive scale and roughly estimates to receive and utilize 400 to 500 million doses covering approximately 20 to 25 crore people by July 2021. 1 in 5 Indians may be vaccinated by July 2021, said Harshvardhan, Union Health Minister. The daily spike in coronavirus infections dropped below 65,000 on Tuesday. The COVID-19 caseload rose to 66,85,082 with 61,267 new infections, whereas the death toll is at 1,03,569. To conclude, while multi-factor authentication increases security, it hasn't been historically strongly embraced. This is likely for several reasons. First, multiple factors of authentication are more expensive for enterprises than managing passwords. The growth in multi-factor authentication in deployments is expected to continue. A report from global industry analysts predicts that the multi-factor authentication industry will grow nearly 14% annually through 2027, with two-factor authentication projected to grow at about 13.2% annually, reaching $14.9 billion by 2027. A significant tailwind to multi-factor authentication sales is the dramatic shift to working from home. Remote working has provided attackers with ample opportunity. And because remote employees will likely be accessing applications from their home networks, they also lack sophisticated enterprise defenses such as intrusion detection and prevention systems, anomaly detection, and web content controls, so their systems are more susceptible to attacks. Perhaps the biggest threats are phishing attacks that attempt to obtain usernames and passwords. This is a scenario multi-factor authentication was designed to prevent. Because attackers also need to provide a one-time password, the hardware token, or a successful biometric check to gain access, the difficulty of successfully breaching a system through the authentication process is increased considerably. In the same way, multi-factor authentication helps enterprises protect against keyloggers, credential stuffings, and finally, person-in-the-middle attacks. So, let us wind up for the day. But do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to War India News Magazine. Please download the War India app from Google Play Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.